question is, of course, can everybody actually design their life, or is there a specific kind of people that actually can design their life and some that cannot?
My experience, every single person can design their lives. Whether every single person will get around to doing it or not is a completely different thing. It usually comes that when people have a tragedy in their lives, they go through a divorce, they lose their job, they have a bereavement, or some accident happens to them, then they start asking themselves real questions and looking for change. Until that happens, they're generally satisfied with making do, because their friends deal with it and everyone else deals with it. It's like the current situation of a worldwide recession. Those people who are designing their lives financially and personally are saying, what a great opportunity, everyone else has slowed down. The guys who were running forward before have stopped running, so I'm going to go ahead of them and get the pot of gold. I'm going to get the success. So if you're able to do it, then anybody can do it, but it's a mindset change that makes a difference, and not everybody's ready for that. Some people might never be ready for that, but when they are ready, that's when they come to me.
Cool. And what would make a person ready?
A person, how would I be able to judge whether somebody's ready or not? Because they're open-minded. I think one of the most important things to know is that you know nothing. You absolutely don't. Becoming a master of a subject is never about actually mastering it. It's about getting a good overview of the tools to be able to craft the bit that fits in with you, but realizing that the thing is so big, you'll never get everything. That's when you become a master, and you keep studying forever to get to those certain things that you enjoy and you can process, then you work towards them. And I can tell instantly with an audience. One of the things I do, I entertain big audiences with the Rugby Sevens and with a lot of big events I've done in Dubai, working with big pop stars, James Brown and Enrique Iglesias and all these stars. When you go to an audience, I can work with an audience of 50,000 people and know exactly what the mood is of that audience, because you can feel the energy. You can feel it when it drops, you can feel when it raises, you can feel, even it's tangible, it's almost like an air conditioner or a heater, you can feel it like that. And you can tell when you meet somebody whether they have the energy to start stepping up to that mark. And often, people settle for less because they have a fear of failure. They're worried about what would go wrong rather than the success of what could go right. Yeah. And often using simple tools like NLP, one of my 10 rules of success is that you never fail. Because failure is such a crippling thing. When somebody calls you a failure or a loser, it's the worst thing you could ever think of. But failure is simply going to an event, putting in a certain amount of effort to get an outcome and feedback. You don't fail, you maybe didn't get the result you wanted, but the more effort you make and the more you analyze the feedback, then you realize, you know what, if I do it a different way, I'll get a different result, and if I keep doing it a certain way, I'll eventually get what I want. Most people can't handle that. Many, I would say 95% of people would rather just settle for what everyone else is because it's safety in numbers. And that's why 5% of the wealth is with, 95% of the wealth is with 5% of the world, because they're the people who are either born to it or they learned how to sustain it, and they learn certain ways of creating that success.